All right. Well, welcome everyone, and thank you for coming to the Fishbowl Payments webinar. We really appreciate you guys being able to come out and join us. My name is Jason Flanagan. I've been I am a customer solutions specialist here at Fishbowl. I've been here for about 8 years. I have worked my way up through Fishbowl from starting at the support level and working my way up to where I am now, and I am very passionate about the Fishbowl Solutions projects and all of our products that we offer. Really excited about Fishbowl Payments. If you are looking for a more in-depth demo, or if you have specific Q&A questions and you want to kind of format this to your own company's needs, by all means, please feel free to reach out to your account executive or to your account manager and let them know. I'd be happy to perform a demo specifically for you, or one of our other customer solutions specialists would be able to do that as well. Um, I'll be providing you with a demo of Fishbowl Payments today, but before I do that, I'll have Kellen Hatch, who's hosting alongside me, do a explain the benefits of integrating a payment processor into your business, and more specifically, the advantages of implementing Fishbowl Payments into the Fishbowl environment. With that, I'll let Kellen take it away.
Fantastic, Jason. Thank you very much. Like Jason mentioned, so my name is Kellen Hatch. I am one of our account executives here. I've been here for coming up on 7 years, and like Jason, have had the opportunity to kind of start in support and work my way up. I've been one of our trainers, been in our implementation department, so it's been a lot of fun to obviously get to know kind of the details, the in-depth of the software, but be able to implement the software alongside you guys and hopefully provide those solutions and those answers for you. Just a couple things before we get started. So we will record this. We will send it out to you guys. So if not everybody is able to make it, don't worry, we'll get this sent out to you. As we go through in the chat a couple times throughout the meeting today, you'll get a link or something that'll pop up, and you can click on that link to get more information, schedule a demo, get a couple of those questions answered. And along those lines, we also have a Q&A chat. So as you guys do have questions, please feel free to type those out. We'll try to answer as many of those as we can at the end. So the way that this is going to go today, we're first going to jump in and go through really what the system is, right? What is Fishbowl Payments? What does it do? How does it work? What are the advantages, right? Jason will then give us kind of an in-depth demo, show us a little bit of the features, some of the settings, some of the ways that we can tailor it to you guys. And then at the end, we will come back and do some of those questions, okay? So I guess the first things first, right? Fishbowl Payments, Fishbowl Inventory, it is, one and the same system at this point. Here at Fishbowl, our goal has always been to continue to update our software, provide new functionality, provide new features, new ways to make your day-to-day lives a little bit easier with, new features, new reporting, etc., as well as make your customers' experience with you guys better as you guys are processing their orders, doing all of that information, right? We're happy today to show you guys one of our newest features, which is Fishbowl Payments. And we're pleased to be able to provide, both a flexible and convenient experience for you guys to now take payments, process those payments directly through Fishbowl. And we'll get into a little bit of those features here in a few minutes, okay? Now, the first question that we typically run into, why payments, right? What is the actual point of having a merchant service provider? Some of this might seem a little bit like, obvious reasons, right? We need our customers to pay us. We need to make sure that we can collect money. Another reason is because overall, we're trying to provide good customer experiences. Think back, if you guys have ever, done an online shop, tried to buy an order or buy a product online and you've had a payment fail, right? This actually happened to me the other day. The website I was on could not process payments at the time, which actually resulted in me having to go elsewhere to find the product I need. Overall, 62% of customers who experience that failed transaction end up being a lost customer, right? They go elsewhere and you guys aren't able to capture that business. So it's important to be able to offer a payment solution so our customers have that easy access to be able to make those orders, make sure everything is running smooth. It's more important than just being able to do that, right? 82% of businesses that have failed cite cash flow as one of the main issues. And that's a little bit more than just, the size or the amount of revenue that we're bringing in. It has to do with the timing, right? If we are, constantly following up on late payments, if we're spending the time and effort to chase down late payments, that's all energy and that's all time and money that could be focused elsewhere, creating, improving parts of the business and growing, as opposed to us now chasing payments and, hoping things come in on time, right? On average, late payments are costing small businesses $3 trillion globally, right? And that's no small number. That's a lot of money, a lot of time wasted chasing late payments when we could be doing something else. Another big reason, small businesses especially tend not to chase late payments quite as much because we're trying to protect customer relationships, right? We're trying to foster that bridge, foster that good experience for our customers so we can see them, purchase more in the future. We want those repeat customers. We want them to continue to come back, right? And overall, or on average rather, more than about 10% of late payments are fully written off and considered bad debt, right? So it's important that we have something in place, have a way for your customers to provide those payments and have you guys a very smooth and easy process to, go out and take those, right? Now that's great, but why would we integrate a payment with your ERP system? Well, the biggest thing, we're saving time on manual entry. Me as a customer service rep, if I have to call a customer to collect a payment, first I'm hoping that they answer, right? Hoping we can actually catch them at a good time. And then it's up to me to make sure I'm grabbing all the right information, typing in all of the right information, and trying, my best to avoid any possible human error there. And so being able to integrate your ERP system with a payment provider immediately cuts down on some of those mistakes and some of that time spent, right? It also allows us visibility, reporting, right? We can now see real-time views of when payments are coming in, what our cash flow looks like, when payments are late, a handful of other things along those lines. Security is also a big reason there. The different merchant services, the payment gateways that we have integrated with, we've made sure we are PCI compliant. So all of the regulations, all of the security rules, we meet them. We make sure that we're staying up to date with them and give you guys that peace of mind of knowing that the payment processor and the ERP system you're using fits with everything that needs to be regulated, okay? And lastly, the customer satisfaction. Me as a customer, being able to have multiple easy, convenient ways to actually pay and get you guys, my money so I can get my products provides, again, a better experience, helps me as a customer know that I can come and I can, be taken care of. It's not going to be jumping around, going through hoops. It's easy, it's fast, it's effective, right? Now, the big question, you guys might already have a payment provider, so why would Fishbowl Payments be, something that might interest you? Well, a handful of reasons. Going back to the time and money point, now me as a customer service rep can handle everything from one system. I can be in Fishbowl, I can create my sales orders, I can take my payments, I can run some of those reports without having to bounce around multiple websites. Immediately, we're saving time, things are getting a bit easier. Here's another big one. As a trainer, as an account executive, one of the biggest requests I get in Fishbowl, is customers coming and saying, hey, Kellen, this is great, but we really wish we had a payment link that we could throw on our invoice or on our sales orders. And this is great because this is a long time in the works here for Fishbowl, but we are excited to say that we officially have a payment link that you can put on those sales orders, send those out to customers, and they can just pay directly by clicking on the link, typing everything in, and you guys don't ever have to call and go back and forth. Right? So that's a big feature that we are excited to offer, and it's built directly into the system. There's really nothing fancy you have to do to get that set up other than make sure that, you put in a couple settings. So we've also got some other, cool features because it's built in the system. It, of course, is going to reduce your time spent chasing all of that, bouncing around systems like we already mentioned. We've got set it and forget it. So we're going to connect, do a couple of those basic settings, and then you guys can go back to, what we need to focus on, which is processing orders, taking care of customers, right? We can also offer a very tailored and flexible solution to both your needs and both the needs of your customers with multiple different payment methods, some ways for you guys to do a little bit of customization on what the orders look like, etc. We've also made sure, again, that we are PCI compliant, making sure we're staying up to date with all the regulations, which is also going to allow you guys to keep those customer cards on file for faster payment processing in the future. Okay. So all sorts of different reasons and all sorts of different ways to help you guys be more effective, give you that peace of mind, keep things moving smooth. And the big thing, right? The overall reason to add this is to help grow your business. The more accuracy we have, the better customers experience can be, the more return customers we're going to get, the better relationships with those customers that we're going to help build, and the more time and energy we can spend elsewhere, focusing on maybe some other areas to help your business grow and keep moving forward. Okay. Now, this is all great, but how does it work? Jason is actually going to share his screen here, and we're going to walk through a quick demo. So that being said, Jason, I'll turn the time over to you.
Thanks, Kellen. I appreciate that. Let's jump right over to Fishbowl. So first screen I want to take a look at here is going to be how we actually apply and how we see this in Fishbowl. So within the integrations module group in Fishbowl, you'd go to the payment gateway module, and then you'd be able to find this Fishbowl Payments button. As soon as you click on this, it'll bring up a little screen. Mine won't show what yours would because it's already connected, but generally speaking, you'll see a little form. You'll have to fill that out. It usually takes less than 5 minutes. And then immediately after filling that out, you'll see your account status here. Most customers are approved within 24 hours. There may be a little bit of underwriting to go through if not, but generally speaking, we see very quick responses and quick that account status goes to active very quickly. Now, let's talk a little day-to-day. So I'm going to jump to a sales order within Fishbowl, and we're going to talk about the day-to-day processing of an order. So we'll jump to an order that hasn't been paid yet. The three main things that we would do on a day-to-day within the sales order in Fishbowl and with Fishbowl Payments would be, one, we can create a payment link. So that integration does allow us to create a payment link. You could email this, text it, send it to, however you want to digitally to somebody, and you can copy that. The other options here are going to be to take a payment directly through Fishbowl. So if we click on the payment button here at the top of the screen, it'll bring up this window, at which point we can then choose which payment method we want to use. With Fishbowl Payments, we'll be able to make ACH payments directly through Fishbowl, which is a huge benefit that we've added. The other thing we'll be able to do is take new credit cards, which is great. Be able to process those directly if you have a customer on the phone and they want to pass their credit card information over to you for the first time. And then after they've done that, we can actually save the card on file. What this does is it just saves a tokenized API call so that we don't store any actual credit card information, but we are able to store their payment methods, and then you'll be able to use those in the future. So you could, to your customer, you'd say something along the lines of, is it okay if we use card on file with the last 4 digits of XYZ, 1, 2, 3, and then they approve that and you can go ahead and process the payment through. If we do that, it's as quick as processing that payment and done. Right, that's paid. That really speeds up that payment process or payment processing process, so that you can get that done really quickly. It saves you a bunch of time and energy. And then last but not least, and this is of course one of the biggest features of this, is going forward, if you are integrated with Fishbowl Payments on either the invoice report or the sales order report within Fishbowl, if you click on these, I'll go ahead and bring one up. You'll notice that as soon as we have this report built out, you'll have a pay online button at the bottom. This is an amazing feature because it does put the ownership, putting that credit card information or ACH payment information onto a new screen for your customer to handle. It puts that ownership there. They handle all the details. You don't have to handle any of the credit card numbers, the account numbers, anything along those lines. It also gives them the ownership of if they are rejected or if there's an issue, rather than you having to reach out to them and say, hey, you have an issue, maybe saving your customer a little bit of embarrassment. They'll get that information back immediately from the payment link, and then they'll be able to find a new way to pay and make sure that it gets done so that we don't have to worry about that relationship. Now, on to the admin side of things. So I'm going to jump back to that payment gateway, and we're going to jump over to the dashboard. One of the huge benefits within Fishbowl Payments is that it is built directly into Fishbowl. It's baked directly into the software where we can see the actual dashboard in Fishbowl. So rather than having to leave, go to your browser, open up another software or something like that, this will already be here. You'll be able to jump straight into this. You'll be able to see, this front end dashboard. We'll be able to see our sales by a given date range that you can select here. We'll also be able to go through a set of reports so we can see our payment methods, deposits, reconciliations, fee statements, and disputes. The payments will be visible here. So these are all the payments that have come through my Fishbowl here that have come through on specific invoices. And then below this, we'll see the actual invoices associated with those payments. This is a great spot where we can actually see the Fishbowl order number that payment was taken against. We can also see if there are payments. So if we do have some that are outstanding, we'll actually see the total paid and the balance due, things like that. If you are allowing partial payments, which is a setting that we can set, then you can see how much has been paid and what is due, which is great because then you can resend that link and say, hey, it looks like you're up for your next payment or something along those lines. Down below that, we're also going to jump to, and this is going to be the next step of the last thing I'm going to show here. We can do a little more in-depth demo later if we need to in person, but on this demo, I'm going to jump straight to settings, and the few settings that I want to make sure that we highlight are going to be one, team settings. It is a huge benefit to be able to not only have one admin user that logs into this dashboard and sees things, but also to be able to include a couple of other members in your team. This would be great so that they can take a look at certain things and also keep them accountable for any changes that they do happen to make, so we know who's making what changes and what things they're seeing and what visibility they have. Another thing that we want to talk a little bit about is branding. Those payment links as they go out, your customer will see an invoice, and rather than it saying Fishbowl Payments and all of that good stuff from our side, although we would love the free marketing, what we'd like to do is allow you to personalize this so that we can give you the option of putting your company logo there, any information that they want to see, and then set settings here. So if you are taking ACH and credit card, you can have both or one or the other, right? And make sure that you are comfortable with what your customer's seeing and what they're able to do, especially in the case of where you don't allow partial payments. There are a lot of industries where that's just not acceptable. And then the last thing I really want to touch on today is going to be the notifications. So whenever we take a payment through Fishbowl Payments, we have a few options here. One of them is we can see whenever an online payment is taken, whenever a refund is made, if there's a failure on a card that's being processed or an account in case of ACH, or if a dispute is made from one of your customers that says that goods have not arrived and their payment has already gone through, you'll be able to be notified of all those things through any number, and you can put as many email addresses here as you want, and anyone on your team can be notified of those things coming through, so you can quickly jump straight into Fishbowl, jump to this dashboard and address those appropriately when that happens. That's all that I have to demo today. I'd be more than happy to provide you with another demo later. If you do reach out to your account manager or your account executive, feel free to sign up and get that process started. With that, I'll turn the time back over to Kellen.
Awesome, Jason, that looks great. I did have a question for you. Refunds, we can process those with Fishbowl Payments as well, correct?
We really need to process those through Fishbowl. So we've actually made it so that we process them through Fishbowl just to make sure that we are consistent with both the accounting side within Fishbowl, but also if you are integrated with an accounting system with Fishbowl, we will push that refund over to your accounting system as well, so that we keep that consistent payment and refunds all the way through the system.
Okay, awesome. Well, it looks like we have a handful of questions here, so let's jump in and kind of get started from the top. The first one, it says, how will Fishbowl Payments protect my customers' data?
It's a great question. So we are making sure that it is PCI compliant. PCI compliance is just, we are PCI level 1 compliant. We'll also do end-to-end encryption and tokenization of all of the credit card numbers and things like that. So we don't store any of that in the database. You don't have to claim any ownership of that. We'll leave all of that in the hands of the people who are best at this, which is the payment side of the system. And then the other thing that we do is we do a little bit of all of that is for customer data protection, but then we also do fraud prevention within the system as well. So if we do see something that seems a little fishy or that we're worried about, we'll make sure that you're notified of those things to make sure that we're not processing payments for somebody who shouldn't be.
Cool, excellent. Next question, it says, we've already got a payment gateway set up. Why should I switch from my current provider?
I don't have any issues with any of the other payment processors out there. I think they're all great. They offer a great service. The real benefit to moving to Fishbowl Payments is definitely the fact that it is baked directly into Fishbowl. I mean, as you saw, you can see a direct dashboard within Fishbowl. You don't have to jump around to other software systems. Of course, we take ACH and credit card through Fishbowl, as well as those payment links, which are a huge benefit and a time saver for any of the customers we currently have signed up. They've really loved that. The ability to put that ownership on your customer rather than having to tie up your customer service team.
Absolutely. Awesome. Next one is kind of on the same lines. It says, we've already got a process down when it comes to reconciliation. If we switch to Fishbowl Payments, will it be more challenging?
No, actually, generally it's simpler. I honestly, it's the ability to get all the reporting directly out of Fishbowl One is great. Another time where you're not chasing down documents through multiple different softwares, and then The other thing is we do have really good reporting on all of that. The analytics are all there. And if we are processing payments through Fishbowl and they are going over to your accounting software, all of the payments will match across all three: Fishbowl Payments, Fishbowl Inventory, and whatever your accounting software is. So that reconciliation should be very consistent, really easy to get a hold of those documents and reports as quickly as you need them.
Fantastic. And just to confirm something you said there, we do still push over all of those payments to QuickBooks, just like our other payment gateways, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, these next one, this is it looks like a two-part question. The first part of it says, how quickly can I get started? And the second is, how long does that approval process usually take?
Yep, and we touched on this a little bit. That approval process is very easy to go or to get started. All you need to do is go to that account payment integrations in Fishbowl and click on that button. We also have a few links online, and I'm sure that there will be some in the chat here. But you click on that. Usually the form takes less than 5 minutes, and then you should get approved within 24 hours. In rare cases, there may be a little bit of underwriting and documentation that needs to be sent over, but it's usually very simple and really quick.
Okay, excellent. And correct me if I'm wrong, but they should be able to see that status pretty much immediately, right, of where their application is.
Absolutely. Yeah. It'll immediately go to pending, and then as soon as it gets approved, it'll go active and you'll be ready to log in, start taking payments right away.
Awesome. Okay, this next one, actually going back to PCI compliance, it says, why do I need to be PCI compliant?
Great question. We really, if you're processing credit cards at all, the credit card companies basically require this. It's going to be the main brands of Visa, MasterCard, Discover, those companies. They will require you to be PCI compliant so that they can trust that you're handling the data correctly whenever you're taking credit cards, so that they don't have to deal with those situations that could be a little rough on the legal side of handling credit cards and data safety.
Okay, awesome. The next couple here actually have to do with some of the fees and then the deposit side of things. So this first one, it says, how often do I receive my deposits?
So you should receive your deposits daily, but they will come in 48 hours after the transaction has occurred for a credit card. And then ACH takes a little bit longer. So they're usually about 5 days out, and you'll get them all deposited at 8 p.m. every day, 8
Okay,
Eastern time, I think.
okay, awesome. On the opposite end of that, what about the fees? How often are those coming out?
Oh, great question. As soon as your deposits come in, you'll get a debit for the fees. So you'll see the deposit and then the fees immediately after, so we don't have any kind of issue where the deposits are missing or anything like that. We also didn't want to just give you a deposit without the fees, because we wanted to make sure that the breakdown was there, keep us accountable for what we're taking out of those fees. So
Okay,
you'll see both line items there.
excellent. And then last one, kind of fee related. It says, aside from credit card processing fees, is there an additional cost to use Fishbowl Payments as our payment gateway?
Absolutely not. We are really excited for this feature. We really want to get everybody on board. We want to save as much time as we can and make sure that these features are there. And we've offered both the integration and the setup absolutely free. I mean, if you get set up, we'd be more than happy to. If you apply and get approved, we'd be more than happy to walk you through the whole setup process, make sure you're comfortable with it, show you how the reports work. If you do need custom reports that also have those payment links, we can offer those as well. And we can go through that whole process.
Okay, excellent. Next one here, this is going back to some of the credit card on file questions. That says, can I have multiple cards on file for a single customer?
Oh, yeah, great question. I didn't touch on that. Yeah, we will store as many as you need for each customer. Yeah, should be. I don't think there's any kind of limit there.
Okay, excellent. And this last one, it looks a little bit bigger. I think this is probably the last one we have time here for, but it says, how will payments work with my e-commerce platform? Can I use it on my existing, Shopify website, WooCommerce, etc.?
Great question. So if you do have something like a Shopify or WooCommerce or any of those types of websites, we can use the authorized.net emulator to integrate with Fishbowl Payments. So you can take payments directly on your website as well. This will allow, especially if you have an integration with Fishbowl to your website, this would allow your customers to both create their order, put in their payment information, pull the payment through into Fishbowl Payments. Then the order would be able to import into Fishbowl inventory, and then we pull in the payments along with that. So you'll see that consistency of the payment going through your cart into Fishbowl and over to accounting, so we can make sure that we reconcile all of that data.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Jason, I appreciate it. I think that's probably about all the time we've got for questions. I know there's a whole lot more, so I certainly apologize for not being able to answer all of them. But like Jason mentioned earlier, we'd love to continue to show you around, get a lot of these more in-depth questions answered. So there's a couple links that have been sent out in the chat, in a couple different emails. Please go ahead and use those. Let's get you guys a demo set up. Let's walk through those questions and hopefully get you to the point where you're feeling comfortable and good about Fishbowl Payments as a new solution for you. So we will have this recording sent out to you guys, but I would like to, again, thank you all for taking the time out of your day to be here with us. It means a lot to us as a company, means a lot to me and Jason that you be here and listen to us kind of walk through these features. So thank you as always.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for coming. It's great to have you.
Okay. You guys all have a great rest of your day. And again, we'll get this stuff sent out to you shortly.